Most people see the name and instantly believe it. A 1948 Mercedes-Benz 280 ES tied to America sounds like a forgotten luxury icon that somehow slipped through history. But the moment you slow down and really think about it, something doesn't add up. And that confusion is exactly where this story begins. The first strange detail is the name itself. In 1948, Mercedes-Benz wasn't using numbers like 280, and ES wasn't part of their vocabulary either. Those badges belong to a much later era, yet this car keeps appearing online under that identity. Not as a rumor, not as a theory, but as if it's an established fact, and that's where the mystery deepens. To understand this car, you have to understand Mercedes-Benz in 1948. The company was coming out of total devastation after World War II. Factories were damaged, resources were limited, and survival was the only goal. Mercedes wasn't chasing performance records or building export-focused luxury machines. They were rebuilding pre-war designs just to stay alive. Every car was carefully assembled, often by hand, using whatever materials were available. So how does America enter the picture? After the war, thousands of American military personnel were stationed across Germany. Many of them encountered European luxury cars for the first time, including Mercedes models that never officially made it to the US market. Some officers shipped these cars back home. Others commissioned custom versions built by independent coach builders. Once these cars reached American soil, their identities began to change. This is where names started evolving. Without official documentation, owners and dealers filled in the blanks. A car with a strong inline-six influence suddenly became a 280 ES. A refined, executive-style build was labeled ES. Over time, those labels stuck, not because Mercedes approved them, but because they sounded right. And decades later, the internet accepted them without question. Look closely at the design, and the story gets even more interesting. These cars carried pre-war engineering DNA, long hoods, upright grilles, and flowing fenders shaped by craftsmen rather than machines. Interiors were trimmed with real wood and leather, built for diplomats and executives, not everyday drivers. Performance figures vary wildly depending on who tells the story, which only adds to the intrigue. That uncertainty became fuel for legend. Auction listings leaned into dramatic descriptions, collectors emphasized rarity, videos repeated the name without context, and before long, the 1948 Mercedes-Benz 280 ES American car became a digital-era classic, even though Mercedes never officially called it that. But here's the twist. That doesn't make the car fake, it makes it human. It represents a time when history wasn't neatly archived, when cars crossed borders and identities changed with ownership. The myth exists because the documentation doesn't, and that absence allowed imagination to take over. What makes this car truly special isn't the badge people argue about. It's the fact that it survived a broken world, crossed an ocean, and carried its story through generations of reinterpretation. In many ways, the legend surrounding it is proof of its impact. So the next time you see a 1948 Mercedes-Benz 280 ES tied to America, don't dismiss it, question it, because behind that name is a far more fascinating story than a simple spec sheet. And it makes you wonder how many other automotive legends are hiding in plain sight